Travis, and I'm a speech therapist, and I uh, also stutter, and with us is Louie, who also stutters too, and I met him in 2009. So we were both teenagers, and we were at an intensive stuttering therapy workshop for like just over 3 weeks, and that's how we met. So Louis, to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Louie, and uh, just how like you were talking about, I went to that speech therapy deal. I think I was probably a sophomore or a junior in high school, about 2009 or so, and yeah, I stutter. I've I've kind of stuttered my whole life about, and yeah, I met you there at that camp there, and just like recently, I've been like whatever joining up on some on just some calls and stuff about let, um uh, uh just about stuttering and stuff like that, and like that's been super helpful, and yeah, like I'm like super stoked to get like more into this and stuff, and like to be talking about it, and yeah, it's all good stuff.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll jump in with some questions then.
Okay.
Um, uh, 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 how old were you when you first started stuttering? And what were those earlier years like for you?
I don't I don't necessarily remember how old I was. I think I would uh, um th- um I think that I've just stuttered my whole life, and as far as like I can remember, I've always stuttered. And I haven't really talked to my parents about if there was like a year that they remember that I started to stutter. I just always have. So like those years back then, I guess. I don't know. Like they were. They're just. It was just your typical childhood, I guess, and yeah.
All
I
right.
think so. Well, there was a second part of that question. What was that? There was something else on there.
Yeah. What were those early years like with a stutter?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like that was it. It was pretty good, I think. I mean, so I grew up in a small town. I think so I had like close friends, small class and stuff. So I think it was a lot easier on me, and like with my speech and stuff, I didn't really get too much slack. But I definitely remember that my speech like definitely altered some things, right. um uh, 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 just some of like the earliest memories that I have, like I remember like we would go get ice cream, like whatever somewhere, right. And like there were certain things that I couldn't say, and I couldn't order for myself, right. So say for instance I had like to like to tell like my dad, right. If I wanted, say for instance I wanted uh, vanilla ice cream, I would just say um uh, that I want the white one, right. That would be easier for me to say, like rather than actually say the word, right? Or like I would say, I don't know. Like when I actually do know, I would just say, I don't know, right? Just because that's easier to say, right? So, um, uh, 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 so even as a kid, like my speech, definitely altered. Like, I mean, some of my childhood, like that, just some blocks and stuff like that. Um, but, but uh, uh, but I mean, for the most part, it, it was pretty good, pretty normal. I had pretty good help around. So if I ever needed anything, I would like lean on them, like they would help me out, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, man, I can't tell you how many times in school I would get called on, and I knew the answer, but I just said I just don't know because I could say that without stuttering.
mhm. Exactly. Yep. I have been there a lot of times. Yeah.
Uh, did you ever go to speech therapy and how was your experience with it?
So I did. I went to a handful of them. I think in my younger years, that there wasn't a lot that was offered. I think through my school, right? And I think there's ton of options nowadays. I think, but like the years that I was going like to elementary school and stuff like that, we didn't really have speech therapists, right? So like that they would try like to take us into town, right? And it's like whatever hour and a half drive um to town and stuff, and we would go, and like we would bounce around here and here and here. But like throughout the years, I was into sports and stuff, right? So they're like pretty much in practice almost every night, right? And I remember a couple times, like they would pull me essentially out of practice to go into town for speech therapy, right?
Mm,
And like I didn't like that. Like um so I remember doing two or three of these deals, and like they wouldn't ever help me, right? Like it isn't like someone's gonna be like, oh yeah, here you go, right? Like and like you're all good to go now, right? So then um me just being like a kid, right? Like I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go. I don't want to do any of this. I just want to go. I play sports, hang out. Um, uh, I just gonna hang out with my friends. I don't want to go to therapy, right? Like I don't want to do this because it also takes a lot of time, right? Like and like like this is probably pretty like universal for just for kids, but I'm like they don't want to like whatever sit through and just talk. Like I don't want to do that, right? Um, um, uh, 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 your answer, yeah. Like I went to whatever two or three like whatever different ones, and like the one that like helped me the most was this SSMP deal, right? But I didn't find out about this until I was a little bit older, right? I was probably, I don't know, 14, 15, I think, right about
mm,
there. And like with this, like it was really like the first one that actually helped me and that worked, right? But also maybe that comes with age, and like maybe I was just old enough to understand like, hey, like there are things that are going to help you. You just have to essentially like be open and you're like willing to do it, right? So like uh, uh, so I was a little bit older, and I think it was a little bit easier for me like to take that in, right? So yeah.
mm. Yeah, and it's really tough as a kid being in speech therapy because you know that there's something different. You feel like there's something wrong, and you 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 know that there's no cure, but your hope deep down still is that your speech therapist will teach you how to stop stuttering, but it's just not really possible.
Yeah, yeah, like that's the deal, right? Is like I would go, and talk to these people and stuff, and like they're like they're that there wasn't too much help, right? And and yeah, like maybe just just me being an impatient kid. I don't want to deal with it. I I don't want to deal with. I just want to move on. I want to hang out. I don't want to do nothing. So that's about it.
Yeah, same. Was sometimes taken out of soccer practice for speech therapy. I was like, dude, I don't want to be here in the first place, and now I'm missing soccer for it. So I definitely don't want to be here now.
Exactly. Exactly.
What what was being in school like for you as a stutterer, and did it ever impact your school performance, or for friendships?
So going through school, I don't really think that it impacted me too much. I mean, obviously, like all like the little things, right? Was this would be easy enough that to do all your homework, go home, do it, hand in your piece of paper, and it's easy, done deal, right? I like the hard parts where like all of the speeches you had to give, or like or a presentation, right? Or on a topic, say for instance, i- so if I didn't understand something, it was it was pretty much I was not going to ask, I mean, for help, right? Like I'm not going to raise um I'm not going to raise my hand in class because I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to ask, oh hey, like what does this mean, right? Like I'm not I'm just not going to like whatever talk in class, I guess, right? So I guess that would be a hurdle that I had to deal with, was like maybe not asking for questions, asking for help, like when other people like were there, right? Like I I would ask questions essentially after class and stuff every now and again, like when it was only me and the teacher. But like
Mm.
um yeah, like that was a major hurdle, I think. But if it was just like all like the regular school work, like there's your book, do your stuff and go home and do it, bring it home. Oh yeah, like, good deal, done. That would be easy enough to do, right? um Do you remember doing that? Like, did you do? Did you ever ask any questions in class? Like, I hardly ever. I never did that at all.
Yeah, same, same. I would almost never talk in class, but was pretty much always a class clown, though, because something about like shouting out a joke was just easier, than being called on to say something. So I I d- I never raised my hand to ask questions, and found out that I was confused pretty often.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I've been there.
I worked out a deal with most of my teachers for presentations that I would either just not do them, or do them during lunch to just the teacher.
Yeah. I don't think. I don't think I was ever given that option. Like um, I always had to do them, and I did them, and I'm like, and it felt, like whatever, super good, I guess, after I was done, right? So
You're cutting out a, little bit, Louis. Oh,
uh, uh, do you uh, do you hear me decent right now,
yeah,
or no?
yeah,
A little bit better now.
yeah.
Okay.
It was just for a moment. Yeah. Um. Hmm? All right. Okay. Yeah. So this is also a tough thing about stuttering too. Is that sometimes I'm not really sure if the other person is frozen or they're just stuttering. So it's like, okay, I'll keep waiting, and we'll
Oh
see.
yeah,
But
that's funny, dude.
but it seems to be good now.
Yeah, awesome, good deal.
Has your stutter changed over the years, or do you still stutter in a pretty similar way to when you first started? Um, Louis, you're cutting out more again, unfortunately. Okay, deal. All right, thanks. Well, uh, yeah, sure. Uh, while he's doing that, uh, 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 I'll share my own answer to that question, and and that's when I first started stuttering. It wasn't as frequent or severe as what I do now with my stutter. So over the years, it's kind of developed a little bit more. So that's my own.
Yeah. Can you see and hear me decent now, or no?
Yeah, yeah. Could you repeat your your answer for that question?
The question was, how has my speech changed over the years?
Mhm.
Right? That was what you're asking.
Yep.
Yeah. So it hasn't changed too much, right? It is definitely gotten better throughout the years. When I was a kid, it was definitely a lot worse, I think, and that was when I really just avoided talking a lot, and just throughout the years, and like now that I'm an adult now, it's gotten a lot better, and like a ton of that is just kind of understanding, I think, right, is that it's okay, like, to do this, and like I just kind of that it is that it's a part of my life, right? So I'm gonna have to live with it on like a daily basis, and like the major part of that, I think, is just like understanding, right? Is like this isn't gonna go away, and I just I'll just deal with it, right? And and, and like life like moves on, right? But I mean, like all like the same like ways that I would speak, like my head it kind of jerks like that a little bit. That's been like pretty consistent, like throughout all, so I think it's been the same, just like a little bit less severe, I would say.
Mm. Oh, your screen just went black, by the way.
Yeah, I just got a phone call
Oh, shit.
from somebody.
Perfect. Yeah, well, when I first met you in 2009, you had those head jerks too. Um, so yeah, uh,
Jeez, dude.
uh,
I'm
uh,
sorry my stuff's not working.
that's all right. Um, Uh, do you need some time, or you good?
No, give me a second. Can I leave and then like join back in? Like, will that work? Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. I'm back, baby.
Okay.
I'm back.
Well, you're still black on my screen. Um, chat. Is he black on your screen too?
I see myself on my screen now, at least. But if
Shoot.
I can probably leave and then join and then join back up if you'd like.
He's still black for the chat. Yeah, try that out.
Okay, I'll do that real quick.
Sorry about this, everyone. Boy. Um, yeah, well, that's a bummer for sure. I think he is back. Hello? Yeah, we're good now. Cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll try to figure that out for the future then. Um, Here, what is one thing that bugs you about stuttering?
Is lo- is that like to think that I'm like a halfway funny guy, and like I got like a ton of funny things like to say, but I mean like whatever. Sometimes be you gotta be quick on your feet, right? So like if somebody will like whatever say something. and I got, like something funny to say, right? But I can't like whatever get it out. Um, Maybe it is because I'm, super excited like to, say it, and like I'm, trying to get it out too fast. Um, that's probably like my like number one thing that bothers me. Like
Mm,
is like
mhm,
there's yeah, like I got some funny stuff to say, and like probably half of it does not come out, I guess.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's one positive aspect about stuttering?
Uh, a positive I'd say is, and like for the people that are listening and stuff, there's probably a couple stutterers in there, right? So I, kind of like, so I definitely pick and choose like the things that I'm gonna say, right? So like I'm like more thoughtful, I guess, on like the things that I want to, like whatever speak. So sometimes I will, think more on an answer that I want to give, and I'm not going to just essentially say the first thing that's just on my mind. Boom, right? I'll be more, I'll be more, selective of like what I have to say, I guess, or more, thoughtful about words, right, or sayings, right. I would just think that, right. I mean, like, I'm always uh, I'm always constantly like whatever thinking of answers, or thinking in my head about, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, well, I probably shouldn't say this, right. So like I would just think I'm more, thoughtful on on the things I say, if that makes
Mm,
any sense at all. I have no idea if I make any sense.
no, yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Um, well, what is one thing you wish more people knew about stuttering?
I would just say, right, I mean, it's um just, for people, just to be like be aware, right, is like there aren't a, ton of, stutterers out there. And like before I I met you guys at that like whatever therapy camp deal. I never met like one, person that even stuttered. Like, so it's super easy just to feel like you're all alone, like on like an island, right? But I mean, like, but if I want people to know is that it is out there, and it's okay like to, stutter, like, right, people like they understand it, right. Yeah, I would just say that, right. I mean,
Mhm.
um
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
no, you're good. That was kind of it, I think. I mean, like, just, like people, I just just to know that it's out there, I guess.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, because just 1% of the population stutters, but most of us are so self-conscious about stuttering that we typically try to to hide it. So like you may not recognize that one in 100 people stutter because we're trying not to.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, like on like a daily basis, like, yeah, like I'm like picking and choosing my conversations, right? And it's probably not like the best way to live. I mean, but I mean, there are, some, circumstances where I'm just gonna flat out avoid a, conversation with, somebody, or like I'm not gonna go into this place because I know that I'm gonna have to, talk to somebody, right? And now, granted, and uh, we live in a day and an age, right, where like you can get like pretty much everything done on your phone, right? So like there are a ton of ways, to essentially um to go around, having to go, talk to people that like you don't know, right? Say for instance, going to get groceries, right? Like there's a chance to where that teller is going to talk to you. They're going to say, "Oh, hey, like how's your day going?" Right? Um, yeah, uh, and it's the small conversations like that that put fear like in me, right? Like there are times like, what if I'm gonna stutter, right? Like I just don't like I just don't even want to deal with it, right? But I mean, like now there are like online pickups where I can just essentially do all my ordering, and like I'll just drive there, and like they will bring it out like to your car in the parking lot, and you don't have to talk to anybody, right?
Mhm.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like I should probably not, be in like um be always avoiding conversations, because I think like uh 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 uh, uh, when you get out there and like talk to people, I think that it helps you, right? Like we need to be out there talking to people, speaking to people, and just getting the word out there, right? Yeah. And like just know that it's gonna be all right, and like you might stutter, but I mean like just don't avoid every situation, and 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 for the most part, that is probably something I'd probably work on, is not avoiding those like whatever speaking situations, right? Is yeah, like just
Same.
don't yeah, just don't worry about it, it'll be all right.
Yeah, agree, and yeah, I, I could totally work on that more too.
Mhm.
Um, wh- what are your top feared words and feared speaking situations?
I don't know if I have any words in like particular that I avoid. It's just mainly like it's the situations, right? So say for instance, if it's high like high stress, or like I got to think on like my feet, right? And those are the ones are that are going to be more challenging, right? So like I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, right? Like to where like so if I know exactly what I'm going to say, like um I can just essentially practice it, right? Like in like the car, like right, going there, right? Uh, so say for instance, I got to go, to a store. I got to buy this. I can just essentially say, "Hey, I need this, this, and this," and I can just essentially practice to myself over and over and over again, and I can go in and I'll be good to go, right? But if it's one of those things to where like I don't know exactly what I'm gonna have to say, and it's gonna be all like the fly, those are the situations that like hurt me more, right? Um, to where like if I can essentially rehearse like all of the words that I got to say, it's gonna be easier on me, right?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, those more structured speaking situations versus the more spontaneous ones.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Uh, 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 how do you prefer people handle your stutter when you talk with them?
I would just like him to just be understanding and just and be patient, I guess, right? Um, there is like, and it doesn't bother me too much, right? But I mean, it kind of does. Uh, uh, so when people guess like what I'm gonna say, so if I'm sitting here stuttering and stuff, they will guess like what I have to say, and they think that like they're trying to help me out, right? Like that they are just trying to say, "Hey, like, are you trying to say this?" And like sometimes I am, but like it just bothers me, right? Like I mean, just be patient with me, and like I get like that not every circumstance is gonna be able to like essentially warrant like somebody to uh, uh, for somebody to be patient with me. But that is all I would ask is, somebody just, take time, take an extra 5 seconds. It's only going to take, like whatever, 5 or 10 seconds longer than, somebody else who's going to be speaking. I just, take, yeah, yeah, just give me a little bit of time and it's going to come out.
Mhm. Yeah, I I I think that most people don't recognize that for them talking with stutterer is a unique experience. So that they probably think that they're helping by guessing our words, but we deal with stuttering every single day. So they don't recognize that they may be the fifth person that day that's tried to guess our words for us. So like a rare occurrence of one time per week, cool. But this happens to us all the time.
Yep. Yep. It is a daily basis kind of deal. Yeah. All the time, man. But
Mhm.
uh, but life is pretty good though, right? Like definitely could be worse, right?
For
Definitely
sure,
could. Yeah.
for sure. Um, uh, well, we may get deep with this next question, but
Ooh.
how has stuttering impacted your everyday life and mental health uh, over the years?
It's yeah, like so it so it definitely plays an impact, right? I mean, um, I have to kind of think about my speech on like a daily basis to where like there aren't a ton of other people that have to think about this stuff, right? So like if it's the little things as like it definitely bother yeah like just talking like with like my wife or my kids or with buddies and stuff like that, like um I tend to be so so I tend to be like whatever short answered, right? um just because it is easier to say um either like what I like one or two word answers, right? Like to say hey, like you just say yes or no, or like, oh, I don't know, sure, right? Um, that definitely like happens a lot, I think, and like I think that I've kind of tailored my personality towards that, like where like I'm just a quiet guy. I'm like the guy that like really doesn't like whatever care and stuff like that. Like I'm just a short, I'm like the grumpy guy, right? And like that isn't always the case. But but but, but it definitely messes with you, right? And like things are good, right? I mean, like I don't let it bother me too much. Like I'm like a confident guy, like with somebody who stutters. Like like you have to be like whatever super confident because you just have to not care what people think, right? Like because if you did like whatever care that much, it's gonna it's gonna make your like whatever day to day like life very very stressful because you're gonna always be constantly thinking about this or that and that, right? So you have to be a very confident person being a stutterer, and like I've kind of done that, like or like I try to do that, and like that is my like whatever face to everybody else. But I'm like, but it definitely bothers me. Like that's like the one thing in my life that if I could change, right, is like I would want to be able to speak perfect just fluid English, and like that is one thing that, yeah, like I don't want to I don't want to stutter, and like I want to be able to speak. I mean, like I have a lot of I have a lot of things to say, and I would love to just be able just to say like whatever I want to, anytime, any day I want to. I would I would do anything for that, I think. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Till and I told you this, I think maybe a couple weeks back, maybe a month or so ago, but 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 when Uncle Elon gets us that like whatever brain transplant thing, I want to be first on that list. I want to do that. Like I would do that right now. I would
Yeah.
do that right now. Hopefully Uncle Elon's watching right now. He's gonna hook me up. So
Hey, we'll see what happens in the next 10 years with all that, though.
oh
Maybe.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but dude, it's tough when you've got so many things that you want to share and express, but you just can't do it efficiently, and it feels like you're a burden to uh, other people for taking too much time. Mm, I think Louis might be frozen. Oh, hello? No worries. No worries. Here we just have two more questions, then I'll let you go. All right. All right. What is your advice to young stutterers who are struggling?
Um, my advice, um, that's a tough one. I think. I think I would just tell somebody that like, hey, it's okay like to stutter, right? Like people do it, right? Like and like um uh, uh, you just gotta have patience with other people, like whatever, ask them to have patience with you and just be understanding that like, hey, I stutter, and like things are gonna be okay, right? Like um and like when you were a kid, sometimes it is super hard for you like to see like, hey, this sucks, like why did this happen to me, and like I don't want but like uh, just know that like things are gonna be okay, and like you just gotta, yeah, I don't know, you just gotta kind of uh, uh, um not not uh, not 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 to be harsh about it, but you got to kind of deal with it, right? I mean, like things are gonna be okay, and you just got to kind of like whatever, like learn to live with it, and like like you have to be okay with you stuttering first, and then as long as you can do that, then everything else is gonna be perfectly all right, right? Like you just got to be okay with it yourself first.
Yeah, I, I agree. Yeah, well put. All right,
Yeah,
last one for you. On
yeah.
a scale of 1 to 10, what is your current level of acceptance with stuttering, and and how has this changed over the years?
So as we sit now, I don't know. Maybe I'm just all talk because I don't really accept it too much. like I want it to be gone, right? But I put like like brave face and like and a confidence on, right? Like I mean you have to like you just got to tell yourself. But I mean like but but if I had to put a number on it, like it would probably be, I don't know, it'd be like a 4, I would guess, right? But I mean, but I tell myself and I tell other people that it's a 10, right? So I am super confident. I'm all good, right? But I mean, but like whatever, deep down, like actually, it does bother me a lot, and it's probably, yeah, like it's a 4 or a 5, probably, I would guess.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I feel that for sure. It's constantly changing for me too, and even though I accept that it's part of my life, I hate it, and I never want to stutter again, but I do. So I, I guess that I've got to to do the best with what I've got.
Yep, yep. Yeah, like that's it, right? Like, and like the whole saying, fake it till you make it, right? I'm just gonna keep
Mhm,
on you like faking it. Like I'm all good, brother. I'm all
mhm,
good.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, for sure. All right. Well, if you need to get out of here, then you're good. I'll stick around uh, and answer some questions from the chat. So your choice, really.
Yeah, I'm all good. I can hang around here here for a little bit. Like yeah, yeah. I am totally fine. Yeah.
All right, because I saw one that was directed towards you, actually. Let me
I might have seen that too. It says
here.
question for Mr. Bluff.
Did you ever think about not having kids because of your stuttering?
Yeah. So I definitely, yeah, I definitely thought about that, right? And I remember looking like when I was younger, like hey, can you like whatever transfer this? Like, is it like whatever, right? And I
Mhm,
and I don't think that it is. And like you can probably uh, you'll know more about this probably than me,
mhm,
right? But like that definitely was a thought, right? And like I didn't want to give this on to anybody else because I know um um uh, uh, just because I know how much that it affects me on like a day-to-day basis, and like I don't want to give that that I don't want to call it pain, but I mean it is, right? I don't want to give that on to anybody else. I don't want to have to deal like with somebody that is like my kid. I mean having to deal with this on a day-to-day basis because it is hard.
mhm,
And like that definitely like whatever that definitely came into account, but I do have kids and they speak good, so it's all good.
mhm. Yeah, and and there typically is a genetic component to stuttering. So roughly 60% of stutterers will have someone else in their family that also stutters. So
Really?
we are just more likely to have kids that will stutter.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah. But yeah, like, but I wouldn't give anything up though. I mean, I got, two, good. I got two, super good girls. Uh, they're at home. They are 10 and 12, and
Mm,
yeah, like yeah, they are super happy, super fun girls. So it's all good.
awesome, love it.
Oh yeah.
Uh, oh, here is something from a fellow stutterer. Because we were talking about stuttering in school. They said I bit my tongue off in first grade. 57 stitches to reattach it. Still have a lisp. It's pretty gnarly. Um,
Jeez.
Someone says, I think a positive about stuttering is that people are more patient with you. Do you find that to be true or not really?
Yeah, I do think that is true. Yes, I mean people. So as soon as they see, or they like, what, like, recognize that I stutter, and that I have hard time, like, whatever, speaking and stuff. I do think that they are like, they are understanding and like patient. Yes, that is like totally true. And, say for instance, I've noticed this as well, and like maybe you you can tell me if you feel like uh, the same, but like, say for instance, I'm at like a store, or something, that like I am like asking for help in something. So if somebody sees that I stutter, they are more more um willing to help me out, right? Like, so if there was something they wouldn't typically do, for somebody else, but they see that I stutter. I have noticed that they are more like, whatever, willing to help me out more, knowing that I stutter.
Mhm,
I maybe that's only me, but like, I I have like, I've definitely gotten uh, whatever, a couple free drinks and like whatever food and stuff every now and again, from people that notice that I stutter. So that's just
mhm.
me though.
Yeah, I found at first people typically aren't that patient, but then once they realize that what I'm doing is real, it's not a prank, then they tend to be more patient. I'm curious if you think that you sometimes get extra help because they know that you're stuttering, or they assume that you like need extra help.
Yeah, I I've definitely gotten I've definitely gotten the extra help. Yes. And it's pretty apparent, I think. And like most cases, I will get extra help, like from people, right? Um, and like that, has helped in the past. It's been nice. It's been nice.
Mhm. Yeah. But do you think that that they're helping because they think that you're less capable, because they don't quite get what a stutter is, or 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 they're just being nice. Mm,
Ton of it is just them, feeling bad for me, I think, right? But I'm
mm,
like, but most of it is, probably them just being nice, right? Like them, seeing that, I have like that this issue that I have to deal with on like a day-to-day basis. Um and like them, being, nice to me is gonna maybe like make my day just a little bit better. And it definitely will, right? So like
mhm,
there are people um so 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 if you see like whatever somebody's stuttering and stuff, and if you're extra nice, to them, it definitely will make their day. So please, continue to do that, people, please.
for sure. Here's another question from the chat. Do people ever rush you or be rude about your stutter in certain settings?
No, I don't really think anybody rushes me. And like, a- and like honestly, I can't remember like the last time anybody was just like whatever flat out rude to me, like because of my speech, right? Um, I can't remember the last time that I was whatever made fun of or mocked. Um,
Mm,
yeah, I'm like I was probably a kid, right? Um, so probably like for the most part, I think that that like that when somebody sees an adult like who stutters, right, they are usually pretty understanding, right? Like that is at least with me. And again, like maybe that is only me. Like, I live in a small town, right? Like pretty much everybody knows everybody, right? So I think that it has been easier on me. And if I lived in a bigger city, it would be different, maybe. But I mean, like for the most part, um, people are pretty understanding, like here. So like they just know that, like, oh yeah, like whatever, like Louie, so he stutters. Uh, um, it's gonna take him an extra couple seconds to get out. Hey, I want a number two. I want, I I want, I want no pickles on that burger too. So
oh yeah, yeah, dude. I don't like outright get made fun of, but I get laughed at. Sometimes people stutter back at me. Um, but I guess I, I live in a bigger place where I'm meeting more strangers, so could be part of it.
yeah, I would think that is a big part of it, right? Um, like and like also not that this matters too much, but I'm also a pretty big guy, so like I'm like whatever 6'4", right? So like I don't really think people are gonna be in like but like yeah trying to do any of that. So yeah,
Fair,
yeah,
fair. Um, cool. Hey, well, I appreciate you taking the time to to chat today. Thank you very much.
yeah. No, yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me on, and like definitely sorry for like my technical like whatever difficulties on my phone here. So
For sure. I'll figure that out for next time. But thank you to everyone in the chat for joining, and thank you to my mod, E squared. You've been great as well. And I will be back for a solo live stream around this time on either Thursday or Friday. So take care, everyone. Thanks, Louie. Take care.
Awesome. Oh, thanks, dude. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.